Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to explore a seriously mesmerizing cosmic scenario. We're talking about the sheer visual and physical shock of looking up into the night sky and seeing not one but two moons drifting right above us. It sounds like a beautiful, poetic dream, doesn't it? But, the more we actually unpack the physics, the biology, and the cultural impact of a setup like this, the more unbelievable and, honestly, kind of terrifying it becomes.
So before we dive into the hard science here, I really want you to just imagine that immediate sensory experience. Picture looking out your window tonight. You see our familiar, bright moon, right? But right alongside it, there's a second glowing sphere. This wouldn't just be some extra decoration in the dark, it's literally a duet of gravity and light that would fundamentally rewrite what it means to live on this planet, shaping our oceans, our weather, and even our own minds.
To break this all down, we're going to explore this ripple effect in 5 main parts today. First, we'll look at a brand new sky, then gravity, tides, and chaos, followed by life under dual moonlight, rewriting human culture, and finally, the future of exploration.
All right, let's jump right into part 1. A brand new sky, the visual shock.
The very first thing humanity would notice is the dramatically transformed visual identity of our planet. Nights would suddenly feel layered, doubled, and just strangely alive. And this new moon wouldn't just be a copy-paste of the one we already have. Depending on its composition and distance from Earth, this second actor on our cosmic stage might be smaller, maybe dimmer, or even totally different in color, like a rusty red or a stark, blinding white. Just imagine the breathtaking visual contrast when those two celestial bodies cross paths. Entire generations would grow up staring at a sky that feels incredibly dynamic, forever altering the emotional experience of just looking up at the stars.
Moving right along to part 2, gravity, tides, and chaos, the physical pull.
Here's the thing, moons don't just sit up there looking pretty. They pull, they tug, they literally dictate the rhythm of our oceans and the stability of our planet's rotation. If we look at a stable scenario, having a second moon could actually be a massive benefit. It could enrich marine ecosystems by creating these really complex mixing tides that distribute nutrients all over the place and carve out brand new ecological niches. But in an unstable scenario, if those orbits aren't perfectly aligned, the gravitational conflict could trigger devastating tectonic stress, chaotic, destructive flooding, and severe long-term climate disruption. So what starts as a beautiful cosmic upgrade could instantly become a massive planetary risk.
And that brings us to an absolutely crucial concept here, orbital balance. This is basically the gravitational equilibrium required to keep everything from, falling apart. If the second moon is too large or too close, its gravitational interaction with our original moon could make Earth incredibly hostile. Imagine trying to build an early civilization when your coastlines are zones of extreme danger and unpredictable flooding, rather than the safe cradles of civilization they were in our history.
Okay, let's pivot to part 3, life under dual moonlight, biological ripples.
We've talked about the oceans, sure, but what about the creatures actually living in them and up on land? Extra moonlight would fundamentally alter the biological clock. Think about it. A brighter, less predictable night sky creates an entirely new evolutionary pressure for literally all life on Earth. Predation patterns would completely shift. Animals that rely on total pitch-black darkness to hunt or hide would really struggle. And creatures like sea turtles, birds, and insects that navigate by lunar light, they'd be facing a super confusing, overlapping navigational map. And hey, this doesn't spare us either. This kind of dual illumination would have forced massive adjustments in human sleep cycles and circadian rhythms over the thousands of years of our own evolution.
Which leads perfectly into part 4, rewriting human culture, the mythology of duality.
With the natural world shifting so dramatically, ancient human societies, the ones who built their calendars, harvests, and religions entirely around lunar cycles, would have to adapt to a dual moon reality. Human imagination would naturally split, likely assigning totally dichotomous meanings to the two moons. For example, one moon might symbolize consistency, order, and the harvest, right? While the other becomes the emblem of change, chaos, and storms. We'd likely see them mythologized as masculine and feminine, or maybe as a guardian and a wanderer. Our very storytelling, our languages, and the core of our earliest religions would weave this duality into absolutely everything we understand about the universe.
Ultimately, this means a world with two moons might create a civilization that just naturally thinks in pairs and symmetry. Our earthly philosophy, our art, our music, and our baseline understanding of balance would be radically altered. The very concept of the moon as this singular, lonely presence in the dark, that would be completely foreign to us.
Finally, let's look at Part 5, the future of exploration, accelerating science.
Looking upward at this undeniable mystery in the sky would dramatically accelerate human scientific progression and our ambition to explore. Forced to explain this visible complexity, early science would have hit the gas pedal. Because early scholars would observe the complex orbital motion of two bodies interacting, humanity would likely grasp the mathematics of gravity and astrophysics way sooner in our history. And think about the modern era. Our space race wouldn't just have one finish line, it would have two distinct, natural targets for outposts, mining, and scientific research.
Having a second frontier like that would turn Earth into a much more ambitious planetary system. Honestly, just the pluralization, saying we are going to the moons, changes our entire psychology. It could lead to extended geopolitical rivalries, too. Maybe one moon becomes a heavily protected scientific research hub, while the other is utilized strictly as an industrial resource mine. Our reach into the cosmos would be instantly multiplied.
When you put all of this together, we're left realizing that a second moon is not just some extra light in the sky. It is a profound structural change. It would make our world feel significantly less lonely, acting as two silent witnesses to human history, and making us feel infinitely more connected to the wider universe. Like we said earlier, a true duet of gravity and light overhead.
Which leaves us with a final, fascinating thought to ponder today. A second moon brings beauty, wonder, and massive scientific transformation for sure. But it also brings the very real threat of total disruption. So just how delicate is the single moon reality we rely on today? And could our planetary system truly absorb this much cosmic complexity without just completely breaking apart? It's a striking reminder of just how perfectly balanced our world currently is, and how one small addition to the sky could change absolutely everything.